Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. You're tuned to Love 101, the family station, and you're tuned to Sports Talk. The name is Kathya Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Sports Talk edition right here. Another Saturday. I'm so excited to be with you to talk about sports, and some more sports. Of course, as I usually say, lots going on as it relates to the sporting world. In about 59 minutes, the West Indies team will take on in the second T20 warm-up game right here at Sabina Park. That game will go off at 2 o'clock. So we'll talk about the first T20 warm-up against South Africa that took place. We'll also talk about what's going to come up just about 2 o'clock as well, but not, 2 o'clock Jamaica time. Coming up is a Prefontaine Classic, and that's happening in Eugene, Oregon. That's the Wanda Diamond League. Also, the Jamaica Premier League champions were crowned. The English Premier League champions were crowned. Yeah, lots of sports going on, and I'm so excited. Of course, Primary Champs also was kept this week, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So stick and stay. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station Love 101 FM. It is Sports Talk. All right, so we're going to jump right into the action. All right, so we're going to start by talking about the Jamaica Premier League. Yeah, because that happened last week Sunday. So I want to talk about the whatever Saturday. Okay. I hope you guys can see me now. Good. I want to talk about the Jamaica Premier League, not just about the finals, but also about the third place match. I wasn't able to make it to the stadium, but definitely I tell you see, when it comes to like football matches, sometimes, I don't know. I mean, it was, I felt, I guess, because, when you are watching the game on the television, it gives you the chance to like see the replays. When you are in the stadium, it doesn't always give you the chance to see the replays. You see, what the different camera angles and stuff like that. So sometimes I'm torn in between actually going out and actually like staying home to, especially watching football. I mean, athletics, I think is that it drives a little bit, but for the reason I wasn't able to make it to the stadium on Sunday, but I thoroughly enjoyed the matches in the Jamaica Premier League. That would have been the third place playoff between Arnett Gardens and Waterhouse, and also the finals between Mount Pleasant and Cavalier. Let me tell you, I don't know what coach said to the other. Let's start with the third place match, because I don't know what coach said to the team. I don't know what it had in terms of third place too. The teams would also qualify. Team would have also qualified for the Caribbean Cup. So I don't know if that was the motivation behind the Arnett Gardens players on Sunday. But let me tell you, even though it was 2 o'clock, yeah, even though the sun was hot, 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 I guess I can say that made the players hot, hot, hot. Let me tell you, Arnett Gardens, they just came out and they're like, yeah, well, we're not in the finals. It's so sad not to be in the finals, but but we're gonna come out here and we're gonna give it the last shot that we have. This is maybe our last game, or would have been the last game of the season, and because of that we're gonna give it our best shot. And best shot they did, because they just really like ran over Waterhouse. Like at some point it just didn't become like, it wasn't even a competition, right? It didn't feel like a competition. It just felt like, all right, guys, was like, yeah, man, we're just gonna do our thing. And Waterhouse, if you want to be in the match, then you're welcome. Arnett Gardens, they won that match 5-1. 5-1 in the third place playoff, which means that Arnett Gardens, they secured the third place and also their spot in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. Arnett Gardens goals were scored. Shea Smith and Kaheem Dixon, they had a double. So Shea Smith, he scored in the 25th and 67th minute, while Kaheem Dixon scored in the 47th and 90th minute. And of course, Captain Fantastic himself, Fabian Reed, got a chance to get on the scorecards with a goal in the 52nd minute. Jaheim Dorman of Waterhouse, he got the only consolation goal in the 34th minute. So well done to Arnett Gardens and their 5-1 win to secure third place in the Jamaica Premier League and also a place in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. So after the first match, then came the second. And if you think that, or if you thought that the first match was like anything to go by, the second match gave even like the second match, yeah, man, the finals, it lived up to expectation in terms of crowd-wise and also quality-wise. And I was so excited to see so many persons at the National Stadium. I just want to say hats off to the organizers, the JPFL, who did a fantastic job, as well as the sponsors, who did a fantastic job. Fantastic job in organizing the finals and marketing the finals. I mean, outside of probably the champs and Grand Gala, I think the Jamaica Premier League crowd at the finals on Sunday was probably the biggest, or would have been one of the biggest we would have seen at the stadium in a long while as it relates to football, especially in this pre-COVID era. People, I mean, I just think that the whole of St. Anne was... I just think that the entire St. Anne was in the National Stadium on Sunday. Nobody can't convince me otherwise. I heard there were buses and cars and everything coming from Mount Pleasant, and it was just so good to see the support, and it means that our local football is alive and well. And, again, Avery Campbell and Owen Hill, all of those persons who had a say in the Jamaica Premier League this season, hats off to you guys. And we're just looking for another fantastic time come next year. But let's jump back to what actually happened in the finals, yeah? So it was Cavalier, young team. Oldest member of the Cavalier team was 25, I believe, yeah, 25 against what I would say a well-oiled Mount Pleasant team. Mount Pleasant Academy, right? Mount Pleasant Academy they're located in St. Anne, and what they do at the academy is that boys who they do football and school full time. So they have like a special curriculum that they do for the boys down there. And they after they in that they insert football. So for those who like, if you can think of like a cricket academy or football academy overseas in the different clubs, Chelsea, Arsenal, Barcelona, Man United, they all have this type of setup where at a certain age the boys enter into the academy and they balance them with school and actually playing football. So they actually like live there. So that's what happens at Mount Pleasant. And so, with that, they came into the Premier League a few years ago, attracting a lot of players. And so, they were the finalists, one of the finalists, alongside with Cavalier, which is a pretty young team. Cavalier is usually made up of, I would say, some of the superstars. I don't want to call them superstars, but stars of like the Manning Cup and the DaCosta Cup. They would like play with Cavalier. All right, so in terms of the goals, Mount Pleasant, they drew first blood, or they draw the first blood in the match. Devontae Campbell, he scored in the 65th minute. And just 2 minutes later, Cavalier, they equalized in the 67th minute. And so that the match went on. I mean, both Cavalier and Mount Pleasant, they had open chances to, wrap up the match. However, that didn't happen and the match went to extra time. They were still tied 1-1 at extra time and the match had to go to overtime. And so then came the dreaded penalty shootout. And I say dreaded penalty shootout as any other person would say, because when it gets to the penalty shootout, it's just who will be able to keep their head. Penalty shootout has nothing to do with form, has nothing to do with the better team. Like none of those factors are like considered when you get to a penalty shootout. It's just who would be able to, hold their head. And Cavalier, the younger team in this case, they were able to hold their heads and to get the victory. Now, Cavalier, Mount Pleasant, they scored their first 2 penalties and they missed penalties 3 and 4, and then scored the 5th one, whilst Cavalier, they missed their first penalty, but they scored penalties 2, 3, 4, and 5. But let's talk about like the penalty taking, because the penalties 3 and 4 for Mount Pleasant was, especially 3 was a save from the goalkeeper, and Cavalier's goalkeeper, who was set to be the lesser of the 2, he actually came up with 2 big saves in the game. The Mount Pleasant goalkeeper, he has been touted to be like the goalkeeper of the season, but he was just not able. He was able to keep out 1 shot from the Cavalier team, but just wasn't able to keep out any other shots. And truth be told, the other penalties taken by the Cavalier team, penalties 2 to 5, they were fantastic penalties. Like those penalties would really score against any keeper, but I don't think those penalties could be saved at all. So we want to say congratulations to Mr. Rudolph Speed. I do believe this is Cavaliers. So in the last 4 years, they've gone to 3 playoffs and won 2 finals. We do remember one of their finals that they won recently would have been in 2021, which would have been what they call the COVID finals. I do remember that finals taking place at the Captain Burrell Center of Excellence at UWI. So I want to say congratulations to Mr. Speed and his team. Tiffany, big up yourself. A part of Cavaliers management team. Yes, want to say congratulations to them. So Cavalier declared the 2023-2024 Jamaica Premier League winners. So I want to say congratulations to the youngsters, and hoping that this will be motivation, or be a motivation to the others to, participate. And, I hope this will drive one of the most important things that I hope this will drive more support for Cavalier FC. I really hope that this Cavalier will gain a fan base by winning this title. You're tuning to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. We got lots more to talk about, but we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back.
As a man living with HIV, a regular day from me, not much different from yours. I have to wake up and go to people and work in the traffic, but then when we reach, we can run some joke with my co-worker them. Sometimes we link up after work, or play ball, or just dip on my ends and kick back before we go home. You see how much we have in common? People living with HIV are a part of our community. Make a par. Protect, accept, and respect. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
When tape diapers are difficult to change, it's time for Pampers Easy Ups with 360 stretchy waistband. They're easy to put on and take off, keeping their skin dry and protected. Changes are easy with Easy Ups.
It's not over.
Listen to words of upliftment in Something More with Bishop Harold Blair, brought to you by the Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center.
And he cried out to God. Have you been there? Have you been there when it seems as if you've been left all alone and no one cares for you? No one gives to you a word of comfort or consolation. But as you lift up your eyes to the hills from whence cometh your help, the Lord heard your cry.
That's Something More with Bishop Harold Blair. Something More comes to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9:30 a.m. here on the family station, Love 101.
It's not over till it's over. And it ain't over yet. Oh, it's not over till. We can make a difference.
Pancakes and Pears present Pears in the Park, a prayer movement by children for children. This Sunday, May 26th at 3 p.m. Come see ministries in the form of dance, sign language, puppetry, mime, sermonettes, and prayers. Hear performances by DJ Isabella, Ryan Davis, Prince Saj, Pastor Kavan Allen, Mario Ramdal, and the Winter Brothers, MC David Hamilton, and Abigail Blair Black. Listen on Love 101 FM as we will share highlights of this broadcast with you. That's Pancakes and Pears, Prayers in the Park, Sunday, May 26th. Listen on Love 101 FM at 3:30 p.m. Sponsored by Dula Biz Limited, Creating Possibilities, and Olame Event Solutions, a Ministry of Education endorsed event.
Get ready for an inspiring time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Monday, May 27. Listen throughout the show for tips on how to become the best version of who you are in the future becoming you. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick Me Up Devotional at 6 a.m. brought to you by Kids Corner Devotionals. Listen at 6:58 a.m. for Minute in the Word, read by students from the Angels Primary School in Spanish Town. Then cruise with Love on your radio at 7 a.m. inside Drive Time Jennings with great music to lift your day. At 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss preeclampsia. And at 9:30 we wrap things up with Something More, brought to you by Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us this Pick Me Up Monday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station, Love.
Welcome back to Love to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. Just want to big up those who are tuned in on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Right back into the thick of things. So, before the break, we spoke about the Jamaica Premier League. We're now moving on further afield to Super Sunday in the English Premier League. I mean, when we spoke about who we thought would have won last week, some persons weren't too happy that I was declaring champions from Saturday. Some people would have said, as others were saying, well, they were thinking the same thing like I was. The championship was really done and dusted, and we were just playing. We're just looking, because there's no way that we thought that Manchester City would have been in that position and be like, oh, on the final day, lose to like West Ham. Like, in a way that was gonna happen. So said, so done. Manchester City were declared champions. Manchester City were declared champions of the English Premier League. So sorry to my Arsenal fans, Daniel. So sorry, maybe next year. I don't know. This is 2 years in a row you guys have come close and not won anything. Yeah, you guys didn't win any trophies this year for real. No, man. Arsenal fans, you guys need to get it together, man. Guys need to get it together. But I'm going to share with you the results of the final day as it relates to the English Premier League. And of course, it was an exciting Sunday because we weren't only looking on teams like winning, like the winning teams, like the teams that were going after the championship, but there was also some interest as it relates to like the middle of the table in terms of 5th and 6th, because that would have said who was going to qualify for the not just UEFA Champions League but UEFA Europa Cup. Yeah, man, those things. Yeah, important when you side qualify to play some, European football. Right, so let's look at the results from last week's Sunday. Arsenal, they defeated Everton 2-1. Newcastle defeated Brentford 4-2. Manchester United, they defeated Brighton 2-0. Nottingham Forest, they defeated Burnley 2-1. Chelsea defeated Bournemouth 2-1. Crystal Palace, they defeated Arsenal 5-0. Liverpool defeated Wolves 2-0. Fulham, they defeated Luton 4-2. Manchester City defeated West Ham 3-1. And Tottenham defeated Sheffield United 3-0. So we take a look now at the final standings. So we'll take the first 6 and then we'll talk about the other team that was relegated. All right, so Manchester City declared champions. They ended on 91 points. 2 behind were Arsenal on 89 points. Liverpool, they finished 3rd on 82 points. Aston Villa, side of Leon Bailey, they will play European football next year. They finished 4th, even though they lost their last match of the season. They finished 4th on 68 points. Tottenham, they finished 5th on 66 points, and it means that they will take part in the UEFA Europa League, as well as Chelsea. They will take part in the UEFA Conference League by finishing 6th on 63 points. And I get to some more news. So in terms of the relegated sides, Luton, they finished 18th on 26 points. Burnley, they finished 19th on 24 points. And Sheffield United, they finished 20th on 16 points, which means Luton, Burnley, Sheffield United will not participate in the English Premier League next year. And so they will be relegated to Champions Cup 1, that, and then the 3 top sides from that conference will move up to the English Premier League. All right, so after Sunday, when Manchester City was declared champions and Manchester United, they didn't get a chance to finish in the top six. So their hopes were almost dashed in terms of winning or participating rather in European football for next season. However, they knew that they had the FA Cup, which took place this morning. Unfortunately for Manchester United, they will be playing European football next season. Then, big up yourself, your man, your side playing European and all the other Man United friends that I have. I don't know why I have so many friends who support Man United. I need to, do a stock taking on that. Right. So Manchester United, they defeated champions of the English Premier League, Manchester City 2-1 this morning in the FA Cup. And so Manchester United will play European football. I think overall for the season, for the English Premier League season, it was interesting up to a point. I'm not going to say up to a point, but to come so close in terms of having probably within the last 8 games or so, you had 3 teams vying for the championship. I mean, to be champions. So that would have been Manchester City, Arsenal, and not Manchester United. What am I thinking? That Liverpool, my bad. To see that battle just take place. I mean, Liverpool, from Jurgen Klopp decided that he was going to tell the side that he was leaving. I think Liverpool just went downhill from there. I think Mikel Arteta he did a good job. As Arsenal coach, I don't see why Arsenal would not keep him. I think he is building something at Arsenal. Does it mean that they will win a title? I mean, hopefully soon. I mean, they've come second twice, so hopefully they can, get it together. As relates to Manchester City, I mean, what do I say about Pep Guardiola? What do I really say about the man other than he is just a fantastic coach, and a fantastic coach in the sense that he has the latitude to buy, I suspect, the players that he wants. Manchester City, they have money galore, so they can, he can say, okay, I want that player, this player, that player, that player, and so there are talks, because there are some breaches that did take place for Manchester City, and there are talks of whether or not they should be banned in terms of from the transfer market, or what the punishment will be. I don't really see the FA kind of coming. If they come down on Manchester City, I'm going to be very surprised. That's really, really going to surprise me. It's really going to surprise me. But there are talks as to what the punishments should be. Some persons are on the fence because they're saying, they should be banned from the transfer market and banned from playing European football. And, you'd see like the true fitness or the true team will come out at that time. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sold about that. Right. So I'm not so sure about that at all. But Regina said Arsenal supporters will be okay. Okay, Regina. I really hope so. It's 2 years in a row now you guys have come close. I'm not so sure how okay is okay, but we'll pray for you guys. We will pray for. We will continue to pray for the Arsenal supporters that their hearts might be okay when their side continues to not win championships. Right. Right, so Manchester City champions, Manchester United FA Cup winners. Interesting time for the teams in the English Premier League. Champions League finals coming up next week, Saturday. Should be interesting, and we'll talk about that in our show next week. So we're up on our second break. We're going to go for another break right here on Sports Talk on the Family Station. We will be right back.
Get ready for an inspiring time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Monday, May 27. Listen throughout the show for tips on how to become the best version of who you are in the future becoming you. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick Me Up Devotional at 6 a.m. brought to you by Kids Home Devotionals. Listen at 6:58 a.m. for Minutes in the Word, read by students from the Angels Primary School in Spanish Town. Then cruise with Love on your radio at 7 a.m. inside Drive Time Jams with great music to lift your day. At 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss preeclampsia. And at 9:30 we wrap things up with Something More, brought to you by Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us this Pick Me Up Monday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the Family Station.
Make a difference. Pancakes and Pears present Pears in the Park, a prayer movement by children for children, this Sunday, May 26th at 3 p.m. Come see ministries in the form of dance, sign language, puppetry, mime, sermonettes, and prayers. Hear performances by DJ Isabella, Ryan Davis, Prince Saj, Pastor Kavan Allen, Mario Randall, and the Winter Brothers, MC David Hamilton, and Abigail Blair Black. Listen on Love 101 FM as we will share highlights of this broadcast with you. That's Pancakes and Pears, Prayers in the Park, Sunday, May 26th. Listen on Love 101 FM at 3:30 p.m. Sponsored by Dula Biz Limited, Creating Possibilities, and Olame Event Solutions, a Ministry of Education endorsed event.
Joan is living with HIV and she has the full support of her community.
Oh, John, one of my favorite passenger them. Nah, live on the road.
Me, I love Joan. She sell the best box food on the block. You know, say Joan are the first year me ever do. I'm now live her out. My mom is the best. Anything she wants, I'm there for her.
Just like Joan, people living with HIV are a part of our community. Make a power, protect, accept, and respect. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beads. This fragrance is so amazing, you have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beads today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the Family Station, Love 101 FM. The name is Kathya Davis. All right, so we're continuing with some sports talking, or sports talks, talking about sports. I think that's what I really wanted to say. Right. We continue with cricket, lovely cricket. I was really trying to find a part of the rally on the West Indies because cricket, lovely cricket is back in Jamaica, and even though we're still upset that we don't get any, we've got no ICC World Cup matches, we did get warm-up matches. First match took place on Labor Day on Thursday. The second match is about to bowl off. It will start at the top of the hour, so at 2 o'clock at Sabina, so you still have a chance to get down to Sabina. Or tomorrow, there is another match or another game on tomorrow at 2 p.m. But I want to talk about the performance of the side in the first T20 match that took place on Thursday. So this warm-up squad is captained by our own Brandon King. Brandon, big up yourself. it's good to have a Jamaican captain the side when the West Indies is playing in Jamaica. So I felt very good about that. Not only that, but we won. Yes, West Indies won the first T20 game in the series, and I feel like pretty good about like the performance. Nothing much to like, I would say, criticize much about the performance. I wish that we had a better or support, like Brandon would have had better support in the batting arena. I think the bowlers, they put on a very, very good performance. The scores in the game: West Indies 175 for 8, batting first with the home man, which is Brandon King. He scored 79 of 45 deliveries, 6 fours and 6 sixes. And the next high scores were Kyle Mayers, 34 of 25, and Roston Chase, 32 of 30. I mean, we really didn't get Johnson Charles open the batting with Brandon, and he didn't really get much support from Johnson Charles. I mean, yeah, I don't know about Johnson Charles. Andre Fisher the same. He just came in and did nothing. Fabian Allen, they didn't contribute much with the bat, but the bowling performance is what I want to talk about, as they were able to restrict South Africa for 147, and that I think was important, because over the years, as West Indies has been known as the team with all this batting power, and we would make like 200 and like people would like chase it down in T20, and I'm like, no man, we have to get the bowling together, and together we did somewhat. I mean, we did have some loose deliveries here and there, but overall the bowling and fielding performance was one that was good. I'd give them 8 out of 10, right? So let's talk about who took the wickets. Matthew Ford, on his debut, he took 3 for 27 in 2.5 overs. The other three wicket taker was Gudakesh Motti. He took 3 for 25 in 4 overs. Ruston Chase also got a wicket. Debutant Shamari Joseph, he also got a wicket. And Akil Hussein, Fabian, Obed McCoy, they contributed. But as I said, it was a good performance from the West Indies, or from this warm-up squad. Kyle Mayers, unfortunately, he has not been included in the side for the West Indies, but hopefully, he will be able to be get a chance, maybe reserved for the World Cup squad. So as I said, the second match comes up at the top of the hour. So you can go ahead and support the team. But let's talk about support, because that's one of the things that I want to highlight. The support from the fans. Like, was the crowd convincing to say, they should have brought the cricket to Jamaica? Thursday's crowd was a good crowd. It was a very good turnout, and it is saying that Jamaica Cricket Association, the people in Jamaica, one moment, they are excited about right. They're excited about cricket, and we want to see cricket here in Jamaica. So we don't want Sabina Park to become just a party ground or a football ground, because you could obviously see like the marks, football marks, because recently football was played at the cricket pitch, and there's something right. Football was played at the cricket pitch, but I don't think that took away from the performance. But the crowd on Thursday, going back to that, I think showed the Jamaican Cricket Association that people will come out and support cricket. And I'm sure there will be a bigger crowd today, and I'm sure there will be a bigger crowd tomorrow, because Jamaicans love to jump. Jamaicans love to jump on bandwagon, love to jump on the bandwagon. And I am sure, because the West Indies won their first match on Thursday, they will come today and they will be there on Sunday, which is tomorrow. So it's good to have cricket back in Jamaica. I'm not lying. Like, it's good to have cricket back in the stand. We haven't had cricket in Jamaica since 2022 or even before that, like international cricket. So it's good to have it. It was good to just, the atmosphere, everything was just so lovely. And just looking forward to the boys putting on even better performance, not just only from Brandon, but also from Fabian Allen, who's also Jamaican. It's always good when the players go to their country because they know the conditions, and it was obvious, Brandon, even though South Africa won the toss, they didn't know Sabina's pitch, or they don't know Sabina's pitch. So they don't know that the pitch is gonna wear down. So batting first is always best when you're at Sabina Park, right? So Brandon used that to his advantage, and trust me, that boy played some world class shots on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to even better shots. I'm looking forward to even a better batting performance. I mean, the West Indies could have easily made over 200 runs if they'd continued on the trajectory that they started. So, as I said, exciting times for the team as they are gearing up for the T20. Some of the other members of the team, like Rovman and Sean Hetmeyer, they will join the team. I think Rajasthan Royals, which is in the Indian Premier League. Rajasthan Royals, they lost yesterday, so I think Rovman and Hetmeyer should be on their way back to the Caribbean for the other to join back with the team. So I suspect that will be later down in the week or so. But yeah, it was a good cricket. Love the cricket. I know people listen. If you're not interested in cricket, or cricket doesn't sound exciting to you, I say start with T20. Test match, that's 5 days. 1 day, that's 50 overs. By the time T20 cricket starts, by the time you really get into the match, it's already over. So, it's only 40 overs. So it's not T20 cricket is, and it's exciting. Because both sides are limited to 20 overs, so it becomes exciting, and it gives an adrenaline push that doesn't come with 1 day or test cricket. But it's good to have cricket back in Jamaica, and we're hoping that we don't have to wait another 2 to 3 years for international cricket to be back in Jamaica. Obviously, as I said, this is warm-up matches for the T20 World Cup, which will happen in the Caribbean. That Jamaica can't stop saying that Jamaica has no matches, but we move on. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I'm just saying that as fans, I think the point has been made. Can the point be louder? I'm hoping that today's crowd and tomorrow's crowd will show to JCA and the others, the powers that be, that they should have put in a bid for cricket to come to Jamaica, and that this is an opportunity that has been lost for us as a country. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. We'll take our final break and we'll come back. We'll talk about some track and field and some basketball.
Pancakes and Pearls present Pearls in the Park, a prayer movement by children for children. This Sunday, May 26th at 3 p.m. Come see ministries in the form of dance, sign language, puppetry, mime, sermonettes, and prayers. Hear performances by DJ Isabella, Ryan Davis, Prince Saj, Pastor Kavan Allen, Mario Randall, and the Winter Brothers, MC David Hamilton, and Abigail Blair Black. Listen on Love 101 FM as we will share highlights of this broadcast with you. That's Pancakes and Pearls Prayers in the Park, Sunday, May 26th. Listen on Love 101 FM at 3:30 p.m. Sponsored by Dula Biz Limited, Creating Possibilities, and Olame Event Solutions, a Ministry of Education endorsed event.
Get ready for an inspiring time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jakal Dyer, this Monday, May 27. Listen throughout the show for tips on how to become the best version of who you are in the future becoming you. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with the Morning Coffee Pick Me Up Devotional at 6 a.m. Brought to you by Kids Corner Devotionals. Listen at 6:58 a.m. for Minutes in the Word, led by students from the Angels Primary School in Spanish Town. Then cruise with Love on your radio at 7 a.m. inside Drive Time Jennings with great music to lift your day. At 8:30 a.m. inside The Healthy Way, we discuss quick news. And at 9:30 we wrap things up with Something More, brought to you by Faith Cathedral Deliverance Center. So stick and stay with us. This Pick Me Up Monday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the family station.
Joan is living with HIV and she has the full support of her community.
Oh, John, one of my favorite passenger them. Nah, live on the road.
Me, I love Joan. She sell the best box food on the block. You know what I say, Joan, the first year me ever do, I'm not live her out. My mom is the best. Anything she wants, I'm there for her.
Just like Joan, people living with HIV are a part of our community. Make a par, protect, accept, and respect. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beads. Its fragrance is so amazing, you have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beads today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
Welcome back to Sports Talk right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. All right, let me see what's going on over Facebook and YouTube. Gladys Simon says she's happy that cricket is back in Jamaica. So am I, Gladys. So am I. Very happy. Very happy. I'm a very happy camper. But something that I'm not happy about. And before I go into track and field and basketball, I didn't talk about this when I spoke about the Jamaica Premier League, but I think now is a good time to talk about it. The Jamaica Premier League finals, right? For those who watched it like myself and for those who were there as well, I'm sure the obvious could not have passed us with I'm not going to say the institution who rented the stadium on Saturday to keep their sports day and left marks, I think it was like mini football they played, but obviously leaving marks on the pitch at the National Stadium. I just, in 2 seconds, I just think it was just so poor. I think that Independence Park Limited, they need to do better in terms of manning the stadium. Like, this is the Jamaica Premier League finals is like the biggest, not the is like biggest football competition that we have in the country. And yes, the stadium is not rented a lot of times, but some sort of rules have to be set. You cannot have a Premier League finals happening on a Sunday and you're going to allow an institution to come in and mark the field permanent, well, not semi-permanent marks. It means that these marks did not disappear overnight. So when the players were playing on Sunday, you saw this obvious dark mark on the field. I think it was just so unacceptable, and I really think that the Independence Park Limited are to be blamed. I mean, yes, it didn't have any implications on the games, but visual wise, it didn't look good on TV. It really didn't look good, and it really says to me that we do not prioritize local football. Even so, it doesn't. It tells me that it is not something that is prioritized. I rest my case. Moving quickly on to track and field in the rest of the time that we have left. So far, the Diamond League program has not officially well, it has started, but not like officially for television purposes. However, we have a world record in the 10,000 meters for women by Beatrice Chibet. She won in 28 minutes 54.14 seconds. That's crazy, as she becomes the first woman in history to break 29 minutes on a track. Yeah, man. That is, yeah, man. That is some running, and Eugene is not the coolest place. So for her to have that time at this time of the year as well, I can't wait to see how much faster she will go for the rest of the season. All right, so let's talk about the Jamaicans participating in this Prefontaine Classic. That's what they call it. Eugene Diamond League coming up, and it will come up at 3:00 Jamaica time, or just about that, 3:30. It's about 37 minutes to go, so 7 to 30 thereabout, before, but 3:00 before, I guess, the first official track event goes on. In the 400-meter hurdles, we'll have Malik James King, Rashawn Clark, and Jaheel Hyde. All right. In the triple jump for women, we will have Shanika Ricketts and Kimberly Williams. And in the 100 meters, we will have Sandre Davidson and Akeem Blake. And I'll just tell you who else they're going up against. In terms of real competition, they'll go up against Ferdinand Omanyala from Kenya, as well as Christian Coleman from the United States. Right. In the 100-meter hurdles for women, Daniel Williams, she will go up against Jasmine Camacho Quinn from Puerto Rico, Devin Charlton from Bahamas, and Nia Ali, who was here a few weeks ago, in the 100-meter hurdles for women. All right, so, all right, moving on. I'm just trying to tell you, in terms of the Jamaicans who will be participating today. All right, in the 800 meters, we will have Natoya Gould Topping going in the 800 meters, and she will go against the likes of Nakai and Keely Hodgkinson and Jemarike. So fully packed field. But the race I want to talk about The race I want to talk about, I mean, really and truly, I would say only two women are really absent from this lineup. Only two women. Only two women are lined up, absent from this lineup. But the 100 meters for women, which will be, no, it's not the last. Thought it was the last event, but it's the second to last. So the penultimate race for the Prefontaine Classic is the 100 meters women. The lineup reads Daryl Neater from Great Britain, Twanisha Terry from United States, Julian Alfred from St. Lucia, Elaine Thompson-Hera from Jamaica, Shakari Richardson from USA, Marie Jose Talou Smith from Ivory Coast, Great Britain's Dina Asher Smith, Melissa Jefferson, and Brittany Brown. And if you ask me, in May, I would say 1 to 7 will be in the Olympic if they make it. To the teams will be in the Olympic finals, as well as Shelly Fraser Price and Sherika Jackson. So this is really very close to what we could see in the Paris Olympics later on this season. It is. I'm just looking forward because. Julian Alfred will be opening our season. Shakari would be opening our season. Elaine will be opening her 100 meter season. Dina Asher Smith will be opening. Listen. Wherever you are, make sure the race. I can tell you what time the race is gonna come, so you can go and try to watch it, get close to it, get the results of it. But I kind of feel it's going to be a fast race. It will come up at 4:42. I'm really hoping that this is my time. So this is 4:42 Jamaican time. That's the time that this race will come up for today. It is. So Diamond League, as I said, it's on, and it shall be very interesting. Very interesting, especially that women's 100 meter. The triple jump will be interesting as well, because as I would have announced a few weeks ago, Yulimar Rojas, she picked up an injury and she will be out for the rest of the season. And so really that Olympic title, Shanika Ricketts, Tia Lafon, all those persons, they really have a chance, now that Rojas is not in this season, to really claim an Olympic gold medal. Another news coming out of track and field, we saw yesterday Akeem Bloomfield announcing his retirement from track and field. Just 27 years old, but Akeem has been through a lot. And so we continue to keep him in our prayers. His mother died in 2021, and it's just been a rough time for him. He was really one of those promising young men coming up for the 400 meters. Even, I think, one of the Diamond Leagues, he was still the meeting record holder for one of those races that happened the other day. So, retired at 27, you just have to know, he says he's going to focus on school and stuff, so that's okay. Track and field is a very harsh, rough sport. It doesn't work out for everybody. Not all the good talents, they don't always transfer into being world-class athletes. It's really a thin line between being world-class and just a regular person. So, we wish him all the best in whatever he chooses to pursue outside of track and field. Janet is asking me, it means 2020. T20 means 2020. It's 2020 cricket. So, 20 overs per side, Janet. I think that's about all the time we have here on Sports Talk. today. NBA playoffs is on. Let me just get that in quickly. Timberwolves, they lost last night, so Dallas is currently leading in the Western Conference 2-love, while Boston Celtics, they will play Indiana Pacers tonight at 7:30. They lead the Pacers 2-love. So interesting. Mavericks and Celtics have the advantage in both Eastern and Western Conference finals. This has been Sports Talk for today. We do this every Saturday between the hours of 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101 FM. See you next week, where we'll talk about sports, and more sports. Bye, everyone.